So we'll start that up again. Cancel. Okay. All right, here we go. So on page 10, review. Now you've talked about this before. Probably in middle school is what some people said. Okay? Let's put that away, please. Taryn, put it away, please. All right, so review. A coin is flipped. What is the chance or probability that it lands on heads? Okay. I'm hearing 1 out of 2 or 50%. Page 10. This is page 10. So how do we get that? Well, there are 2 sides to the coin. So this on the bottom is our total. And of those 2 sides, when we talk about heads, heads is on one of the 2 sides, okay? And that would be 50%. For right now, we're not going to talk about percents much though, okay? So we're going to stick to the 1 out of 2. All right. How about we have a spinner, like in a game. It has sections that are labeled A, B, C, B, and A. What is the probability of the spinner landing on B if spun once? Well, how many total sections do we have? 5. And how many B's do we have? 2. So that means our probability of getting B is 2 out of 5. Okay. So what is probability? This is the definition I would like you to find. So the capital P here stands for probability. The probability of an event happening. And we put that in parentheses. Probability of an event is equal to the number of successes where that event does happen divided by the number of total outcomes. The number of successes divided by the number of total outcomes. Okay? Now, one way to help you remember that is I want you to think of the probability of an event happening at Pike, okay, is that we want to win tonight. Now, if this doesn't help you, don't think about it. If it does, great. So, wins, the W in wins, that talks about our successes. If you have a win, that's a success, okay? So the probability of an event, like a sporting event or a debate event or something, is that we want to win tonight.
What does it say under win?
Tonight. We want to win tonight. And the T stands for my total. So wins are successes and T is total. So the probability of an event, we want to win tonight. My successes over my totals. Okay? Wins over totals. All right. Notation-wise, there is a lot of notation when it comes to probability. Okay? First off, we have the probability of A happening. Probability of A happening is the probability of rolling an A okay, over the total. So that's like talking about the probability that we get heads on a coin. There's 1 heads on a coin and there are 2 sides. So the 2 goes on the bottom in the denominator, the 1 goes on top. So the probability of event happening is the wins over the total. Wins over the total. This next one says the probability of rolling an A and a B. Probability of rolling, and we say roll, but it's that an event happens, but you could be rolling it too, of rolling an A and a B over its total. Now, as I look at this symbol right here, okay, it means intersection. So this upside down U means intersection. So the intersection of A and B, okay? And that intersection means and. All right? It means and. Also, when you look at it, it kind of looks like a lowercase n, right? Lowercase n. And when you say n fast, it's kind of like you're saying and. N. And. Rolling an A and a B, it's the intersection. All right? Okay, the next one is the probability of rolling an A or a B. So it's different from the first one because it's not and, it's or. An A or a B over the total. Okay, so this looks like a U. U stands for union. Like if you have a group of teachers or a group of plumbers or something, we are for the union, okay? And for reminds us and sounds like or. Okay, if we're for the union, it's that it's A or B. We're for the union, A or B. Everybody can join the union, all right? So we're combining everyone in that place, all right? Now, that probability is going to be written as the probability of A happening plus the probability of B happening. We want everybody to join, okay? So we're combining everyone minus the probability of the intersection of A and B. Because let's say we have the probability of the union of girls and basketball. Okay? So I'm going to have the probability of all the girls in this class, let's say, the probability of all those who play basketball, but there might be some girls who play both basketball and are girls, so we're going to subtract them because they've already been counted. We don't want to count them twice. All right? So, or probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A and B happening at the same time. All right, the last one is the probability of not rolling an A. Not rolling an A over the total. So that little squiggly sign is not A. Bless you. Okay. Now, I know those are kind of tricky. All right, so we're going to really have to try to focus. So probability of A and B means that it happens for A and B at the same time. A and B has to be in both. The probability of A union B, A or B, means probability of all the A's, probability of all the B's, minus the intersection of where it happens to both. All right, let's get to some examples. So first example, there are 14 jelly beans in a container. You win a prize, oh lovely, if you guess which color marble is chosen. So we were talking about jelly beans and we're gonna pick out a marble. Oops, that's a mistake. Should be jelly bean. That was kind of funny, no? Not that good. All right, so first of all, it says how many outcomes are there? Outcomes is our key word. So I go back up here to my definition of probability. Oh, here it says outcomes here. The total number of outcomes. So as I look at this, what is my total number?
14.
Yeah, it's 14. So when you're talking about your outcomes, you're talking about your total number, and they told us there are 14. Okay, so what is the probability of choosing each color? Well, how many colors do we have? 3. So let's talk about first. Let's see if I have one of these. Ooh, I could. So what's the probability of picking purple? Well, if you remember, it's the number of successes. Well, how many do I have in this container? How many do I have? 4. Out of total. What's my total? 14. And then we are going to simplify. Okay? Is there a number that divides into both of those? 2. So we divide by 2 over 2, which really is 1. That's why these are equivalent. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 14 divided by 2. So my probability for picking out a purple is 2 over 7. Okay? All right, so let's go to the next color. What's the probability of selecting a red marble? Well, think about it. How many wins would I have if I were to pick out a red marble? How many chances do I have? What are my wins? What would it be, Renisha? Well, how many red marbles do I have? Yeah. So my wins is how many I have of whatever event I'm looking for. I'm looking for the reds here. Out of, what's my total? 14. And to simplify that, I can divide by 7 over 7 and get 1/2. All right. And the last one, what's the probability of my selecting an orange jelly bean? Sorry, jelly beans. Write that down. I'm going to check it here. See if you can simplify it yourself too. So how many oranges we have? We have 3. Out of my total, I have 14. 3 14ths, does that simplify? No. So my answer is just 3 14ths. Remember, it's the number of wins or successes over the total. Okay? Wins or successes over the total. Any questions about letter B, the probability of choosing a color? All right, so now let's go. I'm sorry? Okay. Let's go down to the bottom. Here we have some different items that you might find talking about probability. So we have a spinner, what looks like a spinner in the first picture. What's the probability of getting a 5? They say it is 2 over, what's that bottom number? What should that be? Over 5, yeah, because I have 5 total spaces. And I have 2 of them that are 5s, okay? All right, the next one, I have a die, a single die. What is the probability of rolling an 8 on a single fair die? And when I say fair die, we're talking about a regular die.
0.
It is 0 out of how many total chances would I have? No. Because 6, because there are 6 sides. And 0 divided by 6 is 0. Whoever's got the music or podcast on, please turn it off. Yeah, sometimes when I push down on the inside, it doesn't come back up. It stays sticking downward.
Yeah, this thing needs screwed back in.
Okay.
I'll have to get a pair of pliers.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So the next one, we have a jar of lettered marbles or balls or something. What's the probability of getting an A? It says 5. That's the number of wins I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what is the number that goes in the denominator? No. What's my total? 7. 5 over 7. So number of wins or successes over the total. The probability of getting tails for this coin is going to be what? 1 out of 2. 1 out of the 2 sides. Any questions on that page? All right, let's flip to the next page. So far, so good, right? Okay, good. All right, so in probability, we have 2 types of events. And this is kind of interesting. This is on page 11. So, the probability of having a certain event, okay? The probability, that is capital P, of having a certain event, okay, is going to be 1. If it's going to happen, it's going to be 1. It's certain to happen, so that means we're talking about something that is a sure thing. LeBron James in his commercial talked about the fact that he was going to drive a Kia was a certain thing. So that probability is 1. Okay? So let me give you an example. If we have a bag of marbles, the probability of me selecting a marble from that bag is going to be 1. Because there are marbles in the bag, I'm going to reach into the bag, I'm going to be able to pull out a marble. Okay? It's a sure thing. So that probability is 1. Now, on the other side, we have an impossible event. So the probability of an impossible event, what do you think it's going to be? What's the probability of an impossible event?
0.
Yeah, it's going to be 0. It is not possible at all. Okay, not possible. And that would be like an example of what's the probability that pigs can fly? Well, have you ever seen a pig fly? Unless it goes by Delta or Southwest, Miss Dee Dee, right? Somebody was going to say that. It's 0. Okay? Never going to happen, so it's 0.
Is that long by love?
Is it what?
Is that long? Is that word?
Long.
If we love,
If we have.
if we have that.
Yeah,
Oh,
if we have a bag of marbles, the probability of me picking out a marble is going to be 1. Okay, so the and probability, we're just reviewing this a little bit. And probability means the intersection. That is the probability of A and B. A and B. Remember, and it looks like an N. A and B. If you say it quickly, it sounds like an N. A and B. Has to happen for both. Has to happen for both. Okay? The intersection. The or probability is the union. We're for the union. For means or. For the union. So that's going to be the probability of A union B. A or B is how we say that. A or B. Okay? And the not probability, how do we write that? That's the probability of not, and it's a little squiggly or a little tilde, I think is what they call that, not A. All right. And I think I am going to stop there for today. You guys have been working pretty hard. Any questions about what we've talked about? Now, you can start the homework on Canvas. You probably will not be able to do all of it. It is not going to be due until next Tuesday. Okay? Next Tuesday. So did everybody hear me? There are no paper copies of the homework. It's all on Canvas. You're going to have to go into the day, go into the module, and find that homework. Okay? All right. Good job today. Going to give you a little bit of a break. And let me see. It's probably still not enough time. 5 minutes. You want to come back during 5th, maybe? Okay. 5. Which one? C? Okay. Yes. To get more notes? Is that what you said? B, C, D, D? Okay. Yes.
I'm trying the square root of something on a calculator.
What? It is second, and then this key, and see there's the square root above it. So second and this key.